A hard hat is more than just a head protector or somewhere to hide your sandwiches from your light-fingered colleagues. It's a symbol, an instantly recognisable sign that says its wearer likely works in the demolition or construction industry, that they're a no-nonsense, hard-nosed, blue-collar hero for whom no job is too big and no job is too small. But the hard hat is a symbol of something else too. It's a symbol of acceptance. Acceptance of the fact that the wearer might be struck on the head at any time, that their cranium and its oh so fragile contents are constantly at risk of being hit, struck, impacted, crushed, cleaved, and generally clobbered during the course of their working day. It's the industry's way of saying, yeah, you could well get a whack on the old noggin. Here's a plastic hat that we bought at the cheapest possible price, just in case. And hard hats are not unique as symbols of acceptance. Those working at height are offered tethered harnesses that immediately give the wearer a rather unattractive camel toe. Anyone that's experienced the life-saving properties of such a harness will, I am sure, vouch for their ability to break a fall. But I think they'll more vividly remember how that same harness relocated their testicles into separate postcodes. But as with hard hats, harnesses are, first and foremost, an acceptance. If you work at height, there's a very real likelihood that you will fall. You're required to wear safety boots because it's possible that your tootsies will get crushed. You're required to wear safety glasses because, frankly, it's only a matter of time until you get something in your eye. And you're required to wear safety gloves because demolition or construction sites are akin to juggling freshly sharpened razor blades. In each instance, we demonstrably know the risk. We've acknowledged it publicly. But rather than addressing the risk, we spend money to cover the just in case. We accept that some companies will renege on a deal, even though it's covered by a supposedly legally binding contract. With hindsight, perhaps we could have made those contracts more robust or sought claims against those that broke the terms and conditions. But instead, we've spawned an entire industry to deal with the arbitration while taking a big financial slice for themselves. And that acceptance of risk hasn't just reached the field of demolition and construction equipment, it's defined it. Excavator operators couldn't be trusted to get out of the cab to insert the pin to hold their attachment on a manual quick coupler. We accepted that. And instead of an industry-wide education program or some kind of crackdown, we just paid to convert machines with semi and fully automatic couplers. We couldn't trust operatives to stay a safe distance away from equipment while it's in motion. We accepted that. And rather than training out such dangerous behaviour, we started to equip machines with cameras and AI-powered human form detection systems. We accepted that some of our equipment had a nasty habit of rolling over. In an industry filled with super smart equipment developers, we could have gone back to the drawing board and designed machines with a lower centre of gravity that didn't just fall over like an old lady in a strong wind. But no, instead we added a rollover protective structure, so when the machine ultimately does tip over, the operator will have something nice and solid to bounce around in. Across the entire industry, there is a quiet, unspoken acceptance. You need 10 workers, but you ask the agency to send 12 because you accept that some of them won't show up. You accept that materials, tools, equipment, and fuel will be stolen. Just another cost of doing business. Even though you pay them well and treat them kindly, you accept that your staff will help themselves to scrap metal. You also accept that they will probably sell that metal to a scrap company with which you have a professional relationship. You accept that some of your staff will overindulge and not just at the weekend. You should really let them go, but instead you give them plenty of warning when the drugs and alcohol tests are due. You accept that some of your workers are racist, homophobic, and misogynistic. You could fire them and achieve your aim of creating a more enlightened company. But instead, you let it slide, and then you wonder why you can't keep brown, gay, or female staff. How did we get here? When did we roll over? When did that hard-nosed industry of old surrender the fight? When did we succumb, capitulate, and acquiesce? Why did we agree that each new imposition would be adopted without a fight? That cure is somehow better than prevention? We've stood idly by as major contractors and training providers have forced upon us meaningless competence cards. We gave up the red diesel rebate without so much as a whimper. We bowed our heads in unison as our grandfather rights were stolen from us. This was once a formidable, feisty, and ferocious industry that would fight its corner and stand its ground. Now, we come with a white flag because we've already accepted that surrender is the easiest option.